What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Sports House. Today I am doing my 2022-2023 NFL predictions. Starting with the NFC West, we have the Los Angeles Rams. So for the Rams, I predicted them to be 12-5, and they will be the second seed in the division. The Rams, obviously winning the Super Bowl last year, should have high expectations for this season. Next, we have the Arizona Cardinals. The Cardinals, they had a very good start last season, then slid down and finished in a wild card spot. I think they'll finish with a wild card this season at 11-6. Third place in the division, we have the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers are a team that I believe will be a bit shaky this year. We don't know who the starting quarterback is going to be. I'm going 8-9 for the 49ers. And then our final team in this division is the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks, with Drew Lock, we don't know whether he or Geno Smith will start at quarterback. They just lost Russell Wilson. They still have some good offensive talent, so I'm going 7-10 with the Seahawks. Moving on to the NFC North, I have the Vikings at 11-6. They'll be the fourth seed in the playoffs, and they edge out the Packers to win this division. So the Green Bay Packers, I have second place at 10-7, and they're going to be the sixth seed in the playoffs. I think they will not be as good as they were last year, largely of the fact about Davante Adams, and I'm interested to see how Aaron Rodgers performs. I'm sure he'll be good, just not as good as the last few years. So third in the NFC North, I have the Chicago Bears. The Bears roster right now is at the bottom of the league in terms of strength. There's not too much talent on their roster. It's interesting to see how Justin Fields will do. Since they have one of the easiest NFL schedules, I've got them winning a few games at 5-12. Fourth place in the division, we have the Detroit Lions. The Lions aren't really going to improve. I have them with 4 wins on the season, which is all right. Jared Goff staying at QB. And yeah, it's now we turn our attention to the NFC South. First place in the NFC South, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are going to win the NFC overall with my predictions. So Tom Brady coming out of retirement, I'm sure all the other NFL teams were pretty annoyed with that. The Buccaneers did pick up some new guys. I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 13-4. Next up in the division, we have the New Orleans Saints. So I like the moves that Saints made in the offseason, for one of them, getting Tyrann Mathieu. He's a really good safety. I think the Saints will have a season around 500. I have them at 8-9. The Carolina Panthers are going to miss the playoffs again. They're going to go 6-11. Even though they got Baker Mayfield, I'm not sure how much he's going to actually help the team. The Falcons, I think they're going to be 6-11. Same with the Panthers. They have Marcus Mariota at quarterback. I don't think he's going to do that well for the team. Their roster doesn't look that good either, so I have them fourth in the division. Moving on to the NFC East, where in first place in the division, I have the Philadelphia Eagles at 12-5. So the Eagles, I feel Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith will both get a lot better this year, and they'll just have a breakout year. Next up is the Cowboys. They did just lose Amari Cooper. The Cowboys, I don't think will be as strong this year. I'm going with 9-8. Next up is the Washington football team, the Washington Commanders. The Commanders, I have going 8-9 on the season. They did get Carson Wentz for quarterback. They still have Terry McLaurin, who's a pretty underrated wide receiver. I think that, they'll be around 500. And last but not least, the Giants. So the Giants, they had a high draft pick. I think they'll be 5-12 this season. There's going to be a lot of teams out there that can easily beat them, so that's why I'm saying 5-12. Moving on to the AFC, we will start with the AFC West. I have the Los Angeles Chargers first in the division there at 11-6. The Chargers, I feel like, will have a very good season. Last year, they barely missed the playoffs just by a field goal. This year, they'll just win a lot more. Next up is the Kansas City Chiefs, who I have at 10-7 and getting the 5th seed, so the first wild card seed in the AFC playoffs. The Chiefs this year, they did lose Tyreek Hill, which is one of the biggest parts of their offense. Yes, they have Patrick Mahomes. Some new receiver pickups with Juju Smith-Schuster. I think the Chiefs will be slightly worse at 10-7. Also at 10-7, I have the Denver Broncos, and they'll also make the playoffs. The Broncos with Russell Wilson, I think he will be good. They have been needing QB for the past few years. Ever since Peyton Manning left, they have not had a good QB. So he is what they need. I think he will play well. Not as well as his prime years in Seattle, but enough to get them into the playoffs. And last, the Raiders, who I have fourth in the division at 7-10. it's a tough division. So 7-10 in that division is not what you're looking for, but it's not the worst, even though they're 4th place. We turn to the AFC North, which could be the most complicated division in football this year. I have the Ravens winning the division 10-7. Lamar Jackson, he's been looking pretty good in the offseason. I think he'll come through the season despite a complicated last year where he didn't play all the games. And then in second place, I have the Bengals at 9-8. You may be wondering, why don't I put the Bengals at a good spot since they literally just won the Super Bowl? Well, for the past few years, the teams that have lost the Super Bowl have not done as good the next season. I have the Bengals at 9-8. The Browns, we don't even know if Deshaun Watson's going to play this season. Regardless if he does, I have Cleveland at 8-9, just because they're in a complicated division and conference. And the Steelers at 6-11. Mitchell Trubisky will be the quarterback. I think he could get another chance to start. It'll be interesting to see what he does with Pittsburgh. The AFC South is a division that just could be the worst division in football this season. 3 of the teams don't even look that good. I have the Titans coming in at first at 11-6. I think there will be a bit of a drop-off, but not too much because everyone else in their division is not that good, so 11-6 for Tennessee. Indianapolis Colts. This will be interesting. We know they drafted a rookie QB, but also Matt Ryan is who they have as the starter. I think he will share time with Sam Ehlinger, depending on how that goes. We'll see what the Colts season is like, but to set the bar, I have 7-10. Third place, I have the Houston Texans. I'm not aware of anything the Texans have really done to improve their team. That's why I have them at 5-12, third place in the AFC South. And then last in the division, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this was a questionable team. I mean, I could have put him higher because Doug Peterson, we know, is a good head coach. He was let go from Philly after the team was struggling, but I think he has the potential still to be a good head coach. But for now, I have him 4-13. The last division we have to do today is the AFC East, roamed by the Buffalo Bills, who should storm through the regular season. I have him 14-3. They signed linebacker Von Miller to a huge contract. He is an accomplished veteran who's won multiple Super Bowls, so he should add some depth to the team. On defense, their defense is already really good. I think the receivers will continue to be great, and Josh Allen, I think he'll win the league MVP. So 14-3 for Buffalo. The New England Patriots, I'm really expecting the same from them as last year, if not better. I mean, Mac Jones will just continue to develop. I have 11-6 for New England. Bill Belichick still is the team head coach. He's been around for such a long time. I respect the guy even with what he's been through. The Miami Dolphins just did pick up Tyreek Hill from the Kansas City Chiefs. Tua Tagovailoa, I think he'll continue to improve. The Miami Dolphins will have a 500 season at 8-9, although missing the playoffs. The New York Jets, I mean, I don't see them getting any better. I have 3-14 for the Jets. Their roster, there's not much skill on it compared to the other teams, so that's why I have them towards the bottom of the league. Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching this video. I will be doing the playoffs prediction later in the season. I already told you my MVP prediction, which is Josh Allen. As always, make sure to like and subscribe. Keep hitting the subscribe button. We've been doing great this month. I'm so thankful to all of you guys who have watched my videos, given them likes, just supported the channel. And that's all for today, so see you guys later in the Sports House.